What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this beautifully honest reaction.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice.
Listen, guys, everyone for the most part is questioning Dr. Umar Johnson's behavior today, but the receipts were out years ago. So in a now resurfaced interview with Tasha K, a woman who was once close to Umar exposed shocking details about his vulgar behavior, manipulation, and lack of respect. This woman came forward over 2 years ago claiming Umar used her emotionally and physically, then turned around and humiliated her publicly. And she detailed the vulgar exchanges, his alleged disrespect behind closed doors, and how he manipulated her trust. But look, guys, if you check out the video and you go to the comment section, at the time, many people brushed it off as just gossip. Like, Tasha K, why are you bringing this to us? We did not ask for this information. We thought we were getting some wine, but we just got some cold tea. But I thought it was important to bring this to light because now, given his recent pleas for money and the exposure of his chaotic personal life and lifestyle, if you want to call it that, people are now starting to believe she was telling the truth all along, albeit insignificant to a lot of people. It was the truth and definitely her truth.
Atlanta. So I lived in Atlanta for years, Tasha, and that's where my activism started, where I became more like Black Power, like Dr. King, like, you know, and she knew that about me. So she took the opportunity to tell me about Dr. Umar. And when she brought him up to me, it was more like education, empowerment, things like that. And she knew that's what I liked. Some people feed off of our weaknesses, right? Or what we're attracted to. And fast forward, when I met him, automatically he was trying to eye me down, trying to be very, sexual and what have you, made a couple of sexual advances. I'm a, very nice young lady, but I was like, wait a minute, this is a powerful doctor, what's going on here? And then after we met, we had pictures that night. It was such a great vibe. And I'm not going to lie, he really impressed me with his knowledge, with his information, and especially talking about the young Black men and the boys and the ADHD and things like that. Because as a sister who cares, I was down with that. I already knew about that from Atlanta. I knew that more Black people needed to know about that in Florida because Florida is very racist and a lot of kids fall through the cracks. So that right there was everything for me. Fast forward, this man, our first conversation was basically like, I'm going to F you. I don't know what I can say on your show. And I'm going to fuck you. And you're going to be my fuck person in your town because I travel a whole lot. And I was like, well, no, you're not, because I don't believe in that. I was like, you're good looking and everything. But I said, you had never met me before and I will do the fucking around here. And on top of that, you're not going to just come around and do whatever you think you're going to do to me at all. Like, it don't go like that. And then he laughed and he was like, damn, like, you got a real one, because he didn't know I was from Brooklyn originally. So Brooklyn in the house. And so after that, we talked a few times, but it kind of dissolved because I wasn't going to give him any play. And then I found out that the sister that introduced me literally had slept with him and was trying to push me on him. And then she left the community we were in to join a polygamous community. And I think, because she never said his name at the time, she gave up her husband, she gave up her house, she gave up everything to move away to like the Philly area, if that says anything. And she gave up everything to be like a third, fourth, fifth wife or whatever it was. I was shook.
Okay.
This is man's name. I know it was something.
After Dr. Umar Johnson, the Pan-Africanist, told you that you were going to be his fuck buddy when he came into town and he wanted to fuck you. What happened after that when you said no?
I mean, he was like, damn, like, you're not going to just listen to me, basically? I'm like, no. I said, I have a degree in psychology, too. You're not going to come up here and play with my mind and my emotions and think I'm going to drop my drawers for you. So then we stayed friends. We became, like, cool after that. Like, he respected that because he respects women that don't submit. It's almost like a fear factor with him. And studying psychology, I realized I did the complete opposite of what so many women do. So, like, if you submit to him and if you bow down because he's a Leo, he has that, like, finesse about him, you know what I mean? Then he's going to push and push. But if you're like, what the hell? Who do you think you're talking to? He's going to be like, oh, shoot, let me back up a little bit. And that's what happened.
Okay. So what happened
That's
after you? Go ahead. Sorry. No.
for sometimes after that, for years, we were back and forth, seeing him at different events, but I would never give him like my address or nothing like that because I was like, this is no.
Okay. So how did we get to you becoming like his wife? So fast forward to that situation.
So 2021 rolls around and Haiti has been in trouble. So again, I had seen him for years. I hadn't seen that sister in years because she moved away to this polygamy camp or whatever, and we lost contact. And randomly she called me like to apologize. And I was like, whatever, that's another story. So it's 2021. Haiti is going through hell. My parents' country is like completely in disarray. And I have a team of people because I'm an activist. I'm actually, in several, communities fighting for not just Black Americans, but for Haitians and things like that, and immigrants. And I was contacted by somebody that was like, Anaya, hey, do you know Dr. Umar Johnson? Because you know everybody. I'm like, yeah. They're like, can we get Dr. Umar Johnson to speak on our behalf for the Haitian people? I was like, are you sure you want him to speak on our behalf? I know he's a Pan-Africanist. I know he does a lot for the people or what have you. But what's the correlation? Oh, because, he could maybe, take a stance against what's happening in Haiti and make it known. I was like, all right, bet. I call him up because he typically picks up for me anyway. I call him and I was like, yo, son, I got a request for you. May 18th is coming around the corner. Oh, it's so funny. Today's May 19th. Yesterday was Haitian Flag Day. I don't know if you know that, Tasha.
I didn't know. No. Okay.
Yes, the independence of Haiti, May 18th, 1804 is a big thing. So on every May 18th around the world, we celebrate Haitian Flag Day. So let's say it was like the beginning of May. I hit up Umar. I'm like, yo, my community wants to know if you have anything going on May 18th. If not, can you come to Brooklyn and do an event for us and stand up and stand against, the problems that's happening in Haiti? And mind you, I hadn't seen him in a while. And then the pandemic was also a big thing. But he was like, I'll let you know, send me a flyer of what's going to happen. I sent him the flyer. And do you know Umar? He literally approved the flyer and put it on his Instagram page where he has like over 100,000 followers or whatever. And people started blowing me up. I didn't know he approved it. I didn't know he was coming. So that was like, our last conversation was like the beginning of May. And then I'm in South Florida on May 9th. I'm getting married. I don't let it be known to anybody really. It was a very short, ceremony. It was like very close circuit and things like that. Plus, I still had mad love in my heart for him. I'm not going to hold you. So it was like weird because I'm like, dang, this guy's like possibly coming to this event. I got mad love still, but I'm married. So you know how that goes. And so I didn't say nothing. So I got married or whatever in South Florida. People calling me up. He approved. So here comes May 18th, and he keeps his word. He comes through. Everybody shook. Oh my God! And now you got Dr. Umar here. Da 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 da. And Dr. Umar knew a lot about Haiti, and I didn't know that. And he was shook. He was like, "You're Haitian?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we didn't even know that. Like he knew stuff, and I was Haitian. And then we just started vibing from there. Again, just picked up, but it was nothing sexual or nothing. Because I'm like, yo, I'm married, but not only that, because I couldn't be with somebody that was traveling all over the world and had all these groupies, and it was just too much. And the women that came to the event even were like, all up in his face and all this kind of stuff. So I was like, whatever. So that was the 18th of May, and we proceeded to communicate. And your name came up, Tasha, because around the same time, I think is when this whole thing about him was coming out. And so I had to see for myself, what the hell was everybody talking about this school? Because I knew from day one he was collecting money. From 2012, he had been collecting money for the FDMG, this, that, and the third. And he also wanted to do something about Dessalines, Jean-Jacques Christophe, and Louverture were our big, powerful Haitian leaders that he wanted to be like a part of his school and stuff as freedom fighters. So I said, okay, Tasha K talking about this, everybody talking about this school thing. I said, I got to come through, Umar. And he was like, you want to come through? I said, yeah. So I came out there with my homie who was going to do the artwork for him. We went there, Tasha, and it was abandoned buildings. And the way he said it was basically, he took over the buildings and he was going to make a school out of it or whatever. And this was the plan. I'm not going to hold you. I was kind of like, wow, there's no windows. It's kind of really worn down. It's like, really kind of out of control. But I'm a believer in big dreams and visions. So I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to knock him. So we had a whole thing in regards to the layout and everything that was going to happen with the paintwork and everything. He gave us a tour around the building. Again, no windows. I was kind of confused about that. But he said he got the monies from the donations and that he was going to make something happen really big. And then fast forward, he had a big plan to have a grand opening on 9/11. So how did I get in the mix of becoming the second wife, first wife, part of this polygamy thing was during that time I don't even remember the month. I sent you the video clip. That's when he was on the back, standing up on a backboard and I was helping him clean up and stuff. We got on the topic of relationships because I knew he was never going to settle down. I knew of his past. I knew a lot of things. So I was
what you know from his past? What was going on in his past real quick?
Ooh, well, Umar had a plethora of women. Like I stated, I knew about that young sister who was older than me, actually. And then I knew about, remember back in the day, he had the video with your mama that he was sleeping with, and it came out all over the, I don't know if you remember that. In Atlanta, that's when I heard it off of Hot 106 or V106.
V106 with a hoochie mama?
She was on the videos and twerking and popping and all of that back in the day. She was called like the video vixen or something. Like, I don't even remember her name. I was so hurt by that because I was like, not because it affected me because I was sleeping with him, but it was like, how you a Pan-African educator and you're doing all this for the quote unquote kids, but you're sleeping around with strippers and being on television and radio and doing the things that I do. He knows that I have a lot of friends and a lot of people I'm connected to. So he knew that what I went for was to promote Black, excellence, and that's what I thought we were doing. But and again, this is not to bash Umar, but when he came for you, Tasha, that's when I had to send you that information.
Thank you.
Because I couldn't do it. You're welcome. I couldn't do it because I'm like, Umar, like, I know you personally. Like, everybody else confirmed, like, they know you. This has been like 10 years now. And I've checked him several times. And he might come back on this, like, tip, and he might say something about me. Say whatever you want, girl, but you can't come after my sisters like that. Like, I don't know this Michi, but I'm a big fan of yours, Tasha. And it's not like, oh, I'm like, like starstruck or anything. But it's the fact that you represent something. I get emotional about this, but as a sister, a brown-skinned sister, I sent you a flyer earlier, you represent greatness. You understand? A lot of people will be like, oh, Tasha, she be drinking, she be cussing, she be acting wild. But that's how you made your brain. You're right. If I was pregnant, I'd have my glass right now, But this is true.
Oh my God. Hold on for a second. I'm
No
so
problem.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, you represent something that a lot of females can't do. You're making money, living your truth, and having fun. You know what I mean? And you are doing it without taking off your clothes. You're
And
doing
I
it
ain't
without
begging.
and you ain't begging. You haven't asked for a cash app since I've met you in 3 or 4 years. I met you on YouTube 3 years ago, Tasha.
Umar
You
got to
don't
do
beg.
better. He got to do better. Umar had all my uncles in prison listening to him and stuff. Now they don't believe shit he say because he still ain't got that school up. And I know he mad at me,
And
but I was like, you have got to do better. Like, I know you don't want the government involved, but there are all grants that you can get from Black-owned organizations that would have helped you with this school. But because he lies so much, don't nobody want to help him. And he literally asked people, I got to find that video and put it in here, when he had somebody on live. And they gave him $5. And he got mad that they gave him $5 and literally clicked them off. But he was sitting in the middle of the projects.
And here's the thing, Tasha. If you go, I just sent you an hour ago before our interview. There was a fight outside of the Harlem church. I don't know if you caught wind of that.
Yeah, you did tell me something about that. You was there. You was there for that fight. When he got his ass whooped.
Well, almost. I stopped the fight. I'm like 5 feet, 5'4". In between, I've been lying so long about my height. I don't know how tall I am, but I'm like maybe 5'4". Umar is 6'4". This other brother. Now, here's the crazy part. Again, we were talking about you and all the other bloggers that wanted to interview him and get the truth. And I was like, Umar, why you don't just go on and tell the truth? You have a location and you're building something. Nah, I don't have to do that. Queen, Queen, I ain't got to do that. You know me. You already came out there. You seen what I was doing. I was like, yeah, but if everybody is talking, wouldn't it look better if you just get on there, especially on Tasha K? Like, I literally had just said that again to him. And here comes this ginormous light-skinned brother who was like, yeah, Dr. Umar, can I talk to you? And he's like, yo, you don't see me? I'm talking to my girl real quick. Like, we vibing, this, that, and a third. And he was like, yeah, but I need to know something. Like, what's going on with these donations? Like, we don't understand. Like, we've been sending money and we haven't seen nothing. He's like, well, come on 9/11. And you're going to see something. Because that Harlem event, I don't recall the date exactly, but I sent you the screenshot, too, of him putting me on Instagram as well. So it's in the screenshots. I'm just terrible with dates. Okay. And we were, okay. And he literally was like,
okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. You saw it. Mm-hmm. So he was basically like, yeah, I don't have to prove nothing, this, that, and the third, brother. The brother got so hyped because he's like, you can't keep playing games. So they started throwing names out there, like of other Black Pan-Africanists. I think I heard a Lord Jamal or Jamar. I heard another Q something. I'm not familiar with all of them because I know Umar and I've heard of a few others. But because I know Umar, I kind of stay away from all these activists like Pan-African people because I realize there's something really wrong with this.
So I played some of the video for you guys so you could check out the interview. I have the full link in the description box. But, she talked about his lack of boundaries and talking about his narcissistic behavior, the disgusting, humiliating things that he approached her about and allegedly did. And it completely contradicts the image that he sells to the supporters. And some people are just really wanting to live in this illusion of what he presented himself to be. So they will be forever supporters. They will just completely dismiss anything that is put out there about him that is contradictory to the image that he portrays to them. Of course, they're going to be those people. But this information is being put out here so people can wake up, stop supporting and enabling this, in my opinion, addict. Which he said about him years ago adds to the growing concerns about his intentions, his credibility, and unfortunately, his mom, the well-being of who is around him that is so vulnerable and really has no one but him. Especially in light of him continuing to ask his community for donations. Donations for what? Donations for him? Now, she's not the only one that came out to expose him years ago, but what do you think? Was she ahead of the curve in exposing this information? Do you still feel that it's irrelevant? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.